with Chalnath Dispatches. Contact.
Standing wounded upon a creaking gantry, marksman Drivesh sees death bearing down upon him. A pair of Vespids streak through the haze, wings thrumming and their weapons' neutron crystals flaring as they prepared to fire. The Xenos had already slain every other Tempestus Aquilian of Fireteam Alphex. However, in doing so, the insectile aliens have focused all their attention on Drivesh and his three now deceased comrades. The rune flashing in the marksman's helm display tells him that this has given Fireteam Batarius, the other half of Drivesh's kill team, time to get into position. Time seems to slow in the instant before the lead Vespid fires. If Tempestus Aquilians were normal human soldiers, Drivesh might feel fear. Instead, indoctrinated, conditioned, and with his bloodstream singing with combat stims, all he feels is hate. A searing bolt of plasma streaks down from the high gantry to Drivesh's right. It strikes the lead Vespid in a flash of searing light and swats the creature from the air. Blazing and unravelling into streamers of glowing ash, the Xenos plummets and is lost in the gloom below. Fully shaking off his disorientation at last, Drivesh throws himself into the cover of a stack of scorched metal crates. Neutron blasts chase his heels as the second Vespid whips overhead, firing as it goes. Drivesh has seen the jerky agility of these flying abominations. He knows he has split seconds at most. Barely has he hit the decking behind the crates when he is rolling aside. A neutron stream passes close enough to splash Drivesh's helm display with rad static and scald his shoulder through his armor. It doesn't hit him clean, though. Between this heartbeat and the next, his survival is victory enough. Prone against the deck and forced to fire his powerful hotshot longlas clumsily from the hip, Drivesh, nonetheless, scores a hit on the attacking Vespid. The laser rips through one of the Xenos' wings. Instinctively, it jerks back into the air, perhaps seeking to put some distance between itself and its cornered prey. In doing so, it places itself perfectly in the sights of Fireteam Batarius. The howl of hotshot las carbines echo through the cavernous space of the Ammunitorium Shrine. Vivid beams of energy pass through the Vespid's head and body. Several of its eyes burst on impact. It thumps to the gantry, abdomen curling, and limbs threshing in death. With his immediate attackers slain, Drivesh has a moment to take stock. Scrambling to his feet and checking the charge of his longlas, he glances up to see Fireteam Batarius on the high gantry to his right. They have dropped in through an access chute similar to the one he and his comrades used, when the rest of Alphex were all alive. Dismissing the thought, Drivesh checks his helm display's auspex. It still shows hostile contacts moving within the shrine. This fight is not done. Sweep pattern 9 Ajaxus, comes the voice of the kill team's precursor, Alexa, through Drivesh's helm vox. She's already advancing, dagger flashing in the gloom. Acknowledged, Drivesh says. Alexa dashes along the high gantry and peels off onto a pipe-tangled maintenance platform. The rest of Batarius follow more cautiously. Aquilian troopers Bastine and Joraga, with their hot-shot las carbines pulled tight to their shoulders, and Gunner McVade with his plasma carbine venting puffs of steam. Waypoint runes flash up on Drivesh's helm display, indicating his comrade's intention to advance to a connecting ramp 112 yards ahead. Bastine and McVade will then filter down to Drivesh's lower gantry, and the entire team will advance again, their firepower better distributed to cover the gantries and platforms above and below. Drivesh knows his part is to provide cover. The Vespids have pulled back, more cautious now, but they are still out there. Ignoring his bruises and neutron burns, the marksman accelerates into a limping run, then drops into cover behind a hoist control shrine. He braces his long-las atop the runic console and has barely begun sighting through its scope when his auspex chimes. Dravesh catches the jerky here and gone motion of the Vespids flitting through the gloom. His gun whines as it charges. The first enemy to show itself is the Xenos sniper that wrought carnage amongst Fireteam Alphex. Dravesh's helm display provides the imperial appellation for this foe, Long Sting. The creature alights with one massive link of a dangling macro chain and draws bead on the Aquilions on the high gantry. Lip curling, Dravesh takes his shot, but the Long Sting's reflexes save it. Barely. The lasbolt burns a crease through the Vespid's thorax as it darts aside, but if the wound pains the alien, it doesn't show it. Wings vibrating and the crystal in the sniper weapon glowing, it fires. Dravesh has thrown off its aim, however, and its neutron stream flies wide. Snap shooting with the speed of trained instinct, troopers Bastine and Jorega hammer the Longsting's position. Jinking again, the Xenos evades their shots, only to swing back into Dravesh's sight. This time he hits clean. The Vespid drops limply into the gloom. The distraction created by the Vespid sniper has allowed its comrades to move swiftly into position. One of the Xenos, Swarm Guard, provides Dravesh's display. Drops from on high, wings blurring as it dodges a plasma blast from McVade. Leveling a sleek weapon, the Vespid unleashes phosphor-bright flame that washes over Fireteam Batarius. In that same moment, another Vespid, Skyblast, hefting some manner of grenade launcher, rises from below to flank the Tempestus Aquilians, while another, Warrior, lands on the lower gantry, ahead of Dravesh. The Warrior fires a neutron blast that forces Dravesh to duck for cover. He has a momentary impression of burning troopers reeling and beating at themselves up above before the Skyblast fires its bulky launcher and hits the high gantry right at Gunner McVade's feet. The radiation burst from the detonation is enough to fur Dravesh's helm display with static, but the subsequent detonation of the plasma coil in McVade's gun is even more spectacular. Dravesh's helm triggers sensory wards to preserve his sight and hearing. For several seconds he is alone in the dark, with the rasp of his breathing, the thud of his heart, and the insistent ping of threat warnings. When sight and sound make a welcome return, Dravesh sees that a section of the high gantry is simply gone, its shorn ends glowing with heat and sagging on twisted chains. Dravesh can find nothing of McVade or the Swarm Guard, either visually or on his auspex. Troopers Bastine and Jorega have made it to the next secure section of gantry, though Dravesh's helm display indicates they are both wounded. Another neutron streak rakes over Dravesh's cover. As he tries to find a good position from which to fire back, his helm display tags another enemy contact, small and high up. He focuses in and sees a Tau drone of a design he does not recognize. It is a sleek and somehow sinister thing, its purpose unclear, and it appears to be attempting to stay out of harm's way. Its efforts are not enough. Dravesh fires a single shot, and the drone detonates. A third neutron blast streaks over Dravesh's cover, but this one flies high and wide, as though the shooter's aim was ruined at the last moment. Dravesh snaps a glance at the control shrine, and sees Precursor Alexa, knelt over a prone Vespid warrior, her dagger driven deep into the Xenos' thorax. She realizes she has dropped from the maintenance platform directly onto her prey, employing her grav chute just enough to avoid breaking her own legs. The Vespid thrashes and tries to fight, but Alexia rips her dagger free and slams it down again, once, twice, thrice. Ropey arcs of ichor splash from the blade as it rises and falls. At last the Vespid shudders and stays still. This, it seems, is enough for the foe. The Skyblast pivots in midair and streaks away towards the far end of the shrine. Dravesh sees other Auspex contacts following suit. Vespids that had not yet performed their own attack runs against the Tempestus Aquilians. He and his fellows lean in from cover to gun down their foes as they flee. Yet, in that instant, Dravesh's Auspex chimes warning as another Vespid, unknown, 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 shimmers into view high above the Aquilians. This Xenos wears sections of Tau armor and a strange helm. As it appears, it lays down a hail of covering fire that spins Bastain off her feet and forces Drevesh to duck again. Teeth gritted, Drevesh pans his sights around the vaulted ceiling, but can find no further contacts. By the time he is confident there is only one stealth-capable foe, the remaining Vespids have disengaged. "Clear," he voxes to the other surviving members of his squad. Still cautious, they converge on their waypoint. Multiple Xenos contacts still present on Auspex around primary objective, observes Alexa. They are regrouping, adds Bastain, her voice steady despite the obvious pain of her burns. "X-loading updated tactical parameters," said Drevesh, before switching to the wider command box to make his report. "Kill Team Wrath Draconic to command primary, reporting Ammunitorium lower galley secure with 60% casualties." He waits as more voices crackle across the static lace channel, each a member of another Tempestus Aquilian kill team reporting in. "Kill Team Strikes Flame to command primary, 7th breach support purged, 40% casualties following ambush by Kroot. Kill Team Talon Dracon to command primary. We have been driven back from Coolant Shrine Geminon by Tau Pathfinder teams. 50% casualties. Regrouping with Kill Team Dragon's Eye above the west upper hydraulic baffles. We are encircled, but holding. Kill Team Dragon's Wing to command primary. 20th tier Metritorio Spexy Shrine secure. 0 casualties. Commencing push on Subgenitoria now. A priority rune lights in Drevesh's helm display, as he knows it has in those of his surviving comrades. Text scrolls down his vision as Command Primary responds to his status update with the next set of orders. Casualty rate acceptable. Advance to waypoint row 16. Purge and secure. The Emperor expects. Drevesh exchanges a swift glance with his surviving comrades. As one, they raise their weapons and begin the advance. The God Emperor has work for them yet on Volcus, and they will do their duty, even if they must die in the attempt.